Hi, my name is Beth, and I'm a programming assistant for the St. Johns County Public Library System. And you are watching In the Bubble with Beth, a program where we make things. It's the beginning of the holiday season, and we are going to be making a homemade orange garland that you can use to decorate your house for the winter season. You can use it to decorate the tree, you can use it on a mantelpiece or along your staircase. It's very versatile and it's very easy. It does take a few days to make this project, so give yourself some time if this is something that you want to do. It's very easy steps, but it takes a couple of days, and it's something that you can easily do by yourself, or you can incorporate the whole family and do it as a project together. So let's go ahead and get started. So to get started on this project, we just need some very simple components. You're going to need some citrus fruit. Now I've got a mix here of, I've got grapefruit, some oranges, I've even got a lemon here. You can have any combination or just a singular kind of citrus fruit that you want. About 5 oranges will make about 12 feet of garland. We're probably going to make that in 6 feet increments, 2 6-feet garlands. But like I said, you can have any mix of citrus fruit that you want. You can use clementines, you can use blood oranges, whatever you prefer and whatever you can find. You're going to need your oven. We'll need some baking sheets. You'll need parchment paper. You can just pick this up at the grocery store. You'll need a pair of scissors. You'll need a cooling rack. You'll need some paper towels. I don't have any paper towels, so I stole these out of my husband's garage. You're going to need some string or yarn or twine. You can use whatever you want to string up your garland. I'm going to be using this green yarn that I had laying around. At least I'm going to try that. I've got here a sewing needle. You want to get the thickest sewing needle that you can find so that you can pierce through the fruit, and also to thread if you're using a thicker yarn. You might want to have essential oils on hand. That is completely up to you. I probably actually am not going to do this, but I just wanted to mention this as a possibility. When you are baking the citrus fruit in the oven to dry it out, it smells wonderful, but after the fruit is dried, there really isn't a scent to it. So if you want to have a scent, we could dab some essential oils onto it just to keep that citrus scent. Really, that's all you're going to need. Maybe you might want to have a candle and some cocoa ready just to have on hand while you're stringing your garland, just to make the event more cozy for you. But really, this is all you need. Let's go ahead and head to the kitchen and get started. Okay, so step 1, go ahead and preheat your oven to 250 degrees. And while the oven is preheating, you can go ahead and start cutting your orange slices. Now I'm going to start cutting my orange slices. You want to cut them into rounds and try to have them have about a 1/4 inch thickness. It's not perfectly even all the way around, and that's just fine. But I always find it easiest to cut the orange in half and then slice the rounds from there. And you're just going to repeat that until you have all the orange slices that you can fit on your baking trays. You might have to do this in stages depending on how many baking trays you have and how much space you have in your oven. But I'm going to go ahead and keep slicing my oranges. Then once you have your orange slices on your parchment paper, go ahead and put them in your oven at 250 degrees for 3 hours. You might want to blot each of the oranges with a paper towel before you put them in the oven, because what we're trying to do is dry them out. So if you can squeeze out as much of the excess juice ahead of time, that will help with your baking. But you are going to put them in the oven at 250 degrees for 3 hours, and you'll probably want to turn your oranges over at least 2 or 3 times throughout this period, just so that they dry evenly. And then there's really not too much else that you can do. They just have to bake low and slow. So this might be the perfect opportunity to go ahead and make yourself a cup of hot cocoa or hot tea or coffee and curl up with one of your library books. Okay, so 3 hours has passed. Remember, oven times may vary, oven temperatures may vary, so your times might vary. You might need a little bit longer or a little bit less. You might need a little bit more heat, or you might just keep it at 250 the whole time. But once your oranges look golden brown, it's time to take them out of the oven and put them on a cooling rack. And you now need to set them aside and just leave them alone for 2 or 3, maybe even 4 days, so that they dry completely out. You don't want any moisture left in the orange. Okay, so it's been a few days and I have allowed my citrus fruit. I have oranges, some grapefruits, and 1 lemon. I've allowed them to dry, so they're ready to thread onto the garland. I've gone ahead and measured out about 6 feet of yarn. I think we've all gotten pretty good about measuring how much 6 feet actually, how big that actually is. And I'm going to go ahead and start threading. I'm going to thread my needle, and we'll get started with the garland. So I've got my yarn threaded onto the needle, and now I'm just going to move down to the end of the string, and I'm going to tie a little loop at the end so that I could hook it onto something if I need to. A nail, or around a knob or a tree branch. So I'm just making a little knot, like, oops, where's my camera? Like this. So now that's ready to go, and I can go ahead and start threading. So I'm just gonna take the orange slice, and I'm gonna thread it through one end and then out the other. You want to make sure that you do a full, thread it fully, so that it'll stay onto the thread without moving around a bunch. So I'm just going to go ahead and slide that thread through. And I'm going to leave myself a little bit of room here where it's starting, just so that it can hang on the loop. And then I'm just going to keep going. It's completely up to you how close or how far apart you want your orange to go. If you wanted to tie any kind of greenery or leaves or anything to this, that would also I'm sure look really nice. I'm just going to keep it simple with my citrus fruit, but you're welcome to do whatever you think. I think it'll blend really nicely into some greenery. I think I'd like to put this on my tree, but and I think the lights will look really nice through the orange slices, if you can see the light just coming through right now. But I'm just going to go ahead and take another piece of fruit. I think I might use one of these grapefruits next. It came out a little bit crispy, but I think it still looks really pretty, and I think it'll be a nice mix with the oranges. So again, I'm just gonna slide it through after I've made my initial thread, and I think I'm gonna keep mine about this far, maybe, I guess that's probably about 6 inches apart. But again, it's completely up to you what you'd like to do. And then I'll just take another orange slice. So once you get towards the end of your string, you want to make sure that you save enough room again so that you can tie a loop at the end. So go ahead and take your scissors and snip off your needle. And you can just put the needle to the side for now. And then just go ahead and tie another loop on the end. Yarn is kind of funny to work with because it's definitely stringy. Okay, so now I've got another little loop here that I could, put on a tree branch or on a hook. And now I've got my first set of garland. So I'm just going to repeat the same process to make a second set. Another kind of fun idea that you can do with just an individual orange is to make either an ornament or a topper for a gift. Or you can make an ornament that is a topper for a gift. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. So you just take a little piece of string, much shorter piece of string, tie it to your orange, or to your thread, I'm sorry, and then go ahead and sew your orange like you were doing for the garland. Okay, and then take the string and tie a knot. So it's like so, and then cut off the ends, including your needle. So now you've got this nice little individual orange, and let me show you what it'll look like on top of a present. So if I just take this little present that I've already got wrapped here, it happens to have oranges on the wrapping paper, but that of course is not necessary. But I'll just go ahead and take my orange ornament and put it on top of the present like so, and take a little piece of tape and tape it on there. I might take a second piece of tape just because this yarn is kind of thick. And there we go. It's a sweet little gift that she can reuse the ornament if she'd like to. If not, it just looks nice on this little present. So there you go. That's another little treat that you can make. So I have strung both 6 feet strings of garland, and now I've gone ahead and added them to some greenery on my front door, and I think it looks really, really pretty. Again, I used a mix of oranges, grapefruits, and lemons, but you can do this with any combination or even just simple grouping of citrus fruits that you would like. This should pack up. You should be able to pack it up when the winter season ends. When you put away your decorations, you should be able to pack it up and reuse it for at least another couple years. But I think this came out really pretty, and even though it did take a few days to get it going, once we started stringing the garland, it just took a second. So I think this is a project definitely worth doing. Are you looking for some more ideas on what to read to get ideas for winter crafting? Check out some books at the St. Johns County Public Library System. Things like handcrafted Christmas ornaments, decorations, and cookie recipes to make at home. Or I'm dreaming of a green Christmas, gifts, decorations, and recipes that use less and mean more. Or how about something like the Little Book of Hygge, Danish Secrets to Happy Living, or How to Hygge, the Nordic Secrets to a Happy Life. There's all kinds of fun ideas in here. The St. Johns County Public Library System has all kinds of fun Christmas, Hanukkah, and winter books in the collection. If you need some help, just ask anybody at your local library. Well, thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, comment on it, and share it. If you make your own holiday orange garland, we'd love to see a picture. Tag us on social media. Hashtag I love SJCPLS on Instagram or at SJCPLS on Facebook. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon at the library. Bye.